Hi, and welcome to day 19 of the Mindfulness Challenge. Today, we're going to be talking about being mindful of your relationships. So, in mindfulness, it becomes very apparent to us on how to be more self reflective and be more mindful of ourselves. And what happens in this process is we start to become more mindful of our relationships. And it's all about being more mindful with everyone that you interact with in every circumstance in your life. So, for example, being mindful in your relationship, your spouse comes home from work or whatever, you acknowledge that person as opposed to, just kind of like going off and doing your own thing or continuing to look at your phone. Or, if your child is trying to get your attention, you actually stop and pause and give your full engagement with the child. And at the end of the day, all of us just want to be seen. We want to have someone to listen to us without any judgment. And being mindful of your relationships allows us to provide that as a service to people. I have seen many times where there are people in great pain. I have been in great pain. And, what happens is if the person around you or the relationships that you have, they're not really engaging with you, that makes you feel like they don't love you. They're not, they don't care about you. But that may not necessarily be true. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of us are just lost in our heads. And that's where mindfulness is truly powerful because it helps us focus in on what's important in our lives. It helps us focus in on being there for ourselves and also being there for those that we love and people that interact and that we interact in our lives. So, if someone is going through a hard time, try to attempt to listen to them non-judgmentally and hold space for somebody, right? A lot of times, if you are going through a difficult time in your life, you don't want somebody to give you a solution unless you ask for it, unless you're looking for a solution. What is one of the most therapeutic things that anybody could do is just to be there for someone, to actually listen to what they're saying. Even if you don't understand what they're going through, you could say something like, I can see why that's difficult. Or, you can actively try to understand what they're going through without offering them any solutions. You are holding space for that individual and you are respecting that they are their own unique person and they have their own unique circumstances and that you're there to really see them, right? You're not there to for your own agenda or anything. You are there to practice kindness and compassion towards a person and non-judgment. And by not judging people, people can feel that. Just like we don't want to be judged, right? We owe that to people to not judge them. So, in this case, I urge you guys to really look at your relationships and anyone that you interact with and try to be fully engaged with people. Give people the engagement of your time where you are non judgmentally listening, you are holding space for another person. And you will see how your relationships will improve with people. And you'll start to understand people more because at the end of the day, we're all going through our own human experience. We're all growing, we're all evolving. And if we can live in a space of kindness, curiosity, an intent of practicing compassion and non judgment towards ourselves and others, we are just going to live in a more positive space. And as we hold space for other people, and ourselves through mindfulness, people will start to hold space for us. And that's where you get those really deep connections with people. And, those are hard to come by sometimes, right? Because we're all up in our head again. But you can connect with people on a deep level if you just give them the space first, right? you non judgmentally listen to them, you practice compassion, and you'll start to see that things will shift in your relationships. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day. Until next time.